I am not my avatar. That's a lesson I've learned the hard way. And if you don't know what an avatar is in marketing, the best way I can explain it is that it's your ideal customer or client in as much detail as you can describe. And when I say I learned this lesson the hard way, it is by assuming that I intuitively knew what my avatar wants. And that is a big mistake. So how do you know what your avatar wants? You do research, you ask questions like these. And these are a series of questions I got from marketing person Liam that I worked with for quite a while. And they're basically ideal client or avatar questions. And if you can answer these in as much detail as possible, you'll get a good feel for what your customer or your client wants. So what keeps them awake at night? Indigestion boiling up in their esophagus, eyes open staring at the ceiling. What are they afraid of? What are they angry about? Who are they angry at? What are their top 3 daily frustrations? What trends are occurring and will occur in their business or lives? What do they secretly, ardently desire most? Is there a built-in bias to the way they make decisions? For example, engineers are exceptionally analytical. Yes, I'm an engineer, but I've tried to eliminate as much of that exceptional analytical as I can. Do they have their own language? And by that, it doesn't mean English or Spanish. It means specifically in their industry, do they have a different language? Who else is selling something similar to them and how? Who else has tried selling them something similar and how has that effort failed? Again, if you can answer those questions in as much detail as possible, you will get a much better feel for is what you're offering, whether it be a product or service, something that actually your customer wants. So let me give you some examples. I've done a lot of work in the space of fitness, and one of the things that always comes up in fitness is weight loss. And one of the lessons I learned the hard way after creating a product was that men and women typically liked different things. And being a man, I thought from my vantage point, just tell me what to do, I'll go ahead and do it. That is kind of the way I'm built. Now, what I learned was, and it was a bunch of women who told me this, is that they are much more interested not only in what works, but also the community aspect, how they can talk to other people about what they're experiencing. I totally discounted that. And as a result, that product was very unsuccessful for women who wanted to use it. It was just basically geared from my mindset. And let me give you another example. And this is something that I totally discounted as not true. But it's from an excerpt from a weekly report from Peter. He's a mentee that I'm working with. And he said, pricing. I read an excerpt from the book, The Irresistible Offer by Mark Joyner, an internet marketing pioneer, he says. Ending your price in a 7 or a 9 can help sales. In one case, the author tested 3 prices for a piece of software, $95, $97, and $99. The 97 variety outsold the 99 by a factor of 2, and amazingly, it even outsold the cheaper 95 version by a factor of 5. So then he wrote to me and he says, as soon as I heard that, I paused the audio and immediately updated the prices for all my items over $100, changing all the prices to end in a 7. And he's got an eBay business. Within 2 hours, I sold 2 items, an air compressor for $997 that I had listed for $999.99 for over a year and didn't sell, and a manual forklift sold for $397 that I had tried to sell for $399 for some time. Then I sold about $700 worth of slow-moving inventories after I changed their prices to a 7 also. Pretty amazing stuff. I always thought that was BS, but here's an example. He tested it. It worked. Is it a small sample size? Yeah, absolutely, but it worked. And, as an example closer to me, I've started a small coaching group that's been running for, I guess, about 4 months now. And I've been encouraged to start another small group. And what I wanted to do was take a novel approach, ask the people in that first group what they thought of it, what they liked, what they didn't. And they came back with 6 reviews. They were positive, so that was good. But what they pointed out were not things that I necessarily would have pointed out. They liked the hot seats we did, which is where basically you pitch an idea to the group and then you get feedback, and the accountability of being in that group. Accountability, I would have gotten. The hot seats, I wouldn't have said not so much. So again, I am not my avatar is the lesson I've learned. And when you develop a product or a service based solely on what you think the customer will want, you do so at your own peril. I remember working with a research team, and the research team was charged with coming up with new products. And they introduced a new product that they said would be fantastic for our market. And I said, well, how many customers have you talked to? None, but we know this is going to be something they like. So I said to him, let's go talk to some customers who you think will like this. And we did that with some major customers. And we came back from those meetings, which said that, no, we're not interested in what you are developing, but we are interested in this. So when you look to develop a product, look to develop a service that you offer, go talk to prospective customers before you spend the time, effort, and money to go ahead and do all that. So I'd encourage you to try something new. Ask the customer what they want. And I think if you'll do so, you will be much more successful. At least I've seen that to be the case. And again, I remind myself oftentimes, and there's a couple things you'll hear me say a lot: never ask, never get. But also, I am not my avatar is something that I've learned and learned the hard way. So I hope you don't have to do that. Talk to your customers, talk to your clients, and if you can give them what they want in as much detail as possible, I think you'll be very happy with the results.
Okay, so if you have any questions or comments or ideas for future episodes, please email bruce@brucewhipple.com. And if you're not already on our mailing list, head over to brucewhipple.com and sign up and grab any of the free reports. That'll put you on the mailing list. There is a lot of free information you can use to acquire already profitable businesses. This is Bruce Whipple. Thanks for listening to the Business Acquisition Podcast. And remember, you miss 100% of the opportunities you fail to take. And procrastination truly is the thief of time. So do something today, please. Your future self will be proud of you.